Hello everyone and welcome to this new podcast episode. Oh my goodness, I just found out the name of the podcast. If you are just joining in and you never heard about this podcast, used to be called the Rising Empress podcast. And if you can see, there is no podcast since December because throughout the year of 2023, I have been lingering. The name was not resonating with me anymore, and I really wanted to find something that was really feeling right for me, for the type of podcast I want to create. The type of podcast I want to create always been the same thing. It's all about spiritual enlightenment, but also business tips. It's also, I'm very passionate about pricing as well in your business. It's really much about also, in some level, a diary about my own path as an entrepreneur, as a CEO of my own company. And I wanted to find something, and I've been lingering and finding other words, and something really kind of struck me earlier today, and this is it. And it feels so right, and it makes so much sense with also my product suite. If you have been looking a little bit about my product suite, not everything will be with that letter, but most of my programs or one-on-one private offers are starting with the T. It was a very strong calling last year to have my offers starting with the T, so I'm really carefully crafting my offers. I know some of my offers will not have T's, and they're going to be more group programs. I already have everything written and over everything I want to do, yet my gosh, I actually wanted to record this instead of just talking to you on a recorded. So the light is not the best, but it's very late at night. But that makes so much sense. This name, I haven't shared it with you, but you will see it on the podcast already yourself. But oh my God, even just going and finding this name, just everything was like, wow, this is it, that's it. And I feel like I can feel the flow. It was blocked for so many months. Some of the flow, I got contacts, or I have so much access to a lot of things, but there was something that I felt like there was a big gap missing. And this is what's coming. It's just all the unclogging of what I want to create for the podcast. And I've been doing some live on Instagram, yet I really love the podcast setting, because when you go live on Instagram, some people will be coming in and out. So I feel like it feels like my energy is intruded, not in a bad way, but my energy feels intruded. So that means that I get to feel like, what was I talking about? Because I see someone coming. So if I actually come on a podcast and I talk to you like this, I can see myself in the live, but I'm not getting intruded by other energies. And I get to be fully immersed with you, because at the end of the day, it's a private chat with you and me. I don't feel like this is something you might listen to with other friends, but this is something quite intimate as well. I really want to create that intimacy. So yeah, are you ready for the name? I'm just even saying the name, but not even check if it's something that is already taken on the podcast. And if it does, I will tweak something, but I really love that, and it makes so much sense to me. It's so many levels. I'd love to share that a little bit about that as well. And welcome to Touch of Light with Lucy L. Oh my God, even saying that to you, I can feel my whole body just feeling so relaxed. As you can see, it's starting with the T, touch. And T is all my biggest offer, the offer that are the most dearest to my heart, in the sense of it's a really close connection with me and with you. It's starting with the T. I have my offers called the Throne. It's a 7-month container. I don't really like the word container. I'm working on finding another word, but anyway, for now we'll do. But it's 7-month initiation with with you and me. It's a fully guided 7 months. It's including somatic, but also business growth, new ways of creating offerings that are more based into you more than just money, but also working through money trauma, through somatic embodiment. But there is so many things, and also sound coaching throughout the month as well, in one on a call, but also access to me a few days of the week on Marco Polo. So that's like very much my dearest, highest access to me is the throne, which I absolutely adore. And the throne also include a one-on-one private retreat, which I've actually done with some of my clients this year, actually not last year, but this year. It's just gorgeous moments because it feels like we are working on, so we're still evolving, but at the same time we're getting very into the nitty-gritty, but also getting some time outside of the world, which is so relaxing in so many levels. And some of the other offers that I have is transmission. Transmission is my psychic reading. It's a 17-minute call with me. I have a limited amount every month, but also transmission is an offer. I'm creating a new offer. It's like calling it a mini transmission, and probably find another word for it, but anyway. And transmission is an offer that offer, like, it's just once a month. It's the first Tuesday of every month, and you get to have access to me for one day that you will book afterwards, and it's on donation basis. So it will be a day with me with 3 drops from me on Marco Polo. So that means that it could be around purpose, could be around business, could be around your direction or personal growth. And it's just something that is just one day with me of like asking some question. When I say 3 drops, it means that I'm going to be checking on you on the morning, on the afternoon, and on evening for wrapping up. I'm not going to be fully 24 hours with you, but I will be there to just answer a few questions that might rise up. Also, I have Transcendence, but I'm just going to share the name, but I won't tell you what it is all about yet. But there's so many other just like the one that I really want to share with you as well is the Temple. And the Temple has been one of my dearest offer that came through me last year. Like, it's a dearest offer, but in such a dearest offer that it's not fully crafted yet. For some reason, I really feel like I really wanted to make it something very special, and I know it's going to be a very intimate group. It's going to be a group. I'm going to use the word mastermind, even though I'm not really liking the word mastermind, but that will do for now. That will be encapsulating so much of the somatic, but also business and also the sisterhood. And I'm just like navigating through the many months that I want to make it run. I feel like a 7 or 8 months feels right in that capacity. The reason I just have my phone just telling me I don't have battery left anyway, but the capacity of that, and it's going to be probably around 7 or 8 women, and it's just going to offer so many things. I have written so much around the temple that I felt like something was not fully finished, but then actually telling you about touch by light actually, which could be touch of light as well, we'll see. That feels right, and the temple feels like now it can actually get fully birthed, which is such a beautiful thing. And what you can expect in this podcast, as I said to you, is about business, but I want to make it very, very a big highlight of my own podcast is talking about really the conscious business. So ways of being more ethical, more conscious when you work with your client, but also with yourself, and also setting new ways of doing business that is not relying on broy marketing, and really looking on new ways of doing marketing, but also reusing the marketing that have been working for thousands of years that we kind of put it aside because of the online world, but it still works really well. So I'm really looking forward to come here and share the wisdom around business, but also around the somatic part, body led, and of course your personal growth, and like as a transformational like wealth expansion coach, whatever you want to call me. I like to call myself a healer or a shaman or a light worker for so many reasons, because it's very deeply for me. The deeper you go into your healing process, the deeper you can get into your business process. And also the more you go into your healing process, the more you get to connect with your spirits, your spirit guides. I personally call them spirit guides. Some people will just call them spirit, but I feel like for me they're more than one. They're more than one entities. But it's also important for us to really get access to our own spirit guides, personal spirit guides, but also the business spirit guides. Our business have their own entity, its own frequency, and we tend to kind of getting very close to ourselves, that it actually gets integrated in our bodies. But our body cannot sustain a growing business. We actually need to separate from the business so we can actually personally grow, but like expanding our own nervous system capacity, but also letting the business to have its own capacity of holding the receiving part and and also being able to really being in holding the divine masculine, divine feminine in both ways, because the divine feminine is more creation, and I feel it's more something that is on my duty, at least in my own business, my own company. But like my business is also there. It's the provider, it's the capacity of receiving in terms of profit, and also in terms of receiving more information and sharing information, and being in my board as a board member to be able to share with me what feels right. And this is a very spiritual kind of podcast. Is quite woo-woo for some people, but it's really my own journey, and I don't want to be filtered anything. So, and I would love to make this podcast quite bite sides in that sense, but maybe sometime will be happening. And also I want to record them in video. I hope like sometime that might not happen, because I may have a great idea and I'm not in capacity to be on the video. But yet my full intention is to come and really share with you like recording this with the video and a good enough sound, so you can actually either listen to me or you can look at me, hi, and look at me, like listen to me while you look at me, and you can see all my mimics, because I love talking with my fingers. I'm obsessed with my nails as well. That's another story, but it's also part of what it is, touch by light. It's also part of me, who I am, and for you to get access to even more my authentic self, that I feel like if it's just voice, even though on the podcast will be you're probably going to just see the voice, that gives you a bit more access to who I am, and for you to get to know me. I'd love to share something else before I wrap up this episode. This episode has been, as I was saying to you, it's been in the process for so long. I actually have some podcasts that are coming after this one that were pre-recorded before the name. So you might ask, like, you might hear like, oh, I'm still thinking about having a new name and everything, but I just don't want to edit my podcast, like make them as short as possible, but also as little edited as possible. For many reasons, I feel like it's so much more authentic, but also that gives me the opportunity to share more with you, because I don't take a good amount of time to have to sit down and edit them. So it's kind of everything about this podcast for now, but I just shared a little bit of what you can expect from this podcast, and I'm really looking forward to come back into my podcast game. I just also wanted to share with you that you can you can chat with me on Instagram. It's callme.lucie, Lucie, because I'm French, and you can DM me about this podcast or any podcast if you have any question, any subject you'd like me to cover. I'm open to any kind of podcast. Yet I also wanted to just make an extra promotion. Is my friend Celia and myself are just launching a co-hosting podcast called Unfiltered Awareness, which is more a discussion around conscious discussion, more than just business or spirituality. And I invite you to, if you like to have kind of like this one is definitely something you get a coffee or tea and a warm blanket if it's the winter, and listen to it in your couch. This one you might want to take notes sometimes. So I just wanted to just share all of that, because it's all about like for you to have access to me as much as possible and have access to most of like my own thinking, because I feel like it's important so we can have great conversation. The more we talk to others, the more we hear them, the more we can actually get to know them. And I'm looking forward to be actually getting to know you, because that's one of the most important things to me. So yeah, I just going to send you so much love, and I'll talk to you very soon to the next podcast. Bye bye.